Hey, yo. Hey, you're up. What's going on, everybody? Derek here, back again. Hopped off for a little bit. I had to take my dog around the corner real quick, had him do his business, but I'm back, better than ever. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Derek, covering everything wholesaling real estate on this channel, specifically virtual wholesaling real estate, as that's what I'm doing. Currently live in California, sourcing opportunity out in Houston, Texas. So if you are in the Houston market, I'd love to connect. Feel free to drop me a comment on this video or any one of my videos. Reach out to me via Instagram. The link to my Instagram page is in the description of this video and every other video. We also have a little bit of a Discord community starting to be built out. So we would love to have you join there as well. The link for the Discord is in the description of this video as well. Just going to be a way for us to all to remain connected while I'm off stream, so that if you want to bring any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions for me, anything, you can bring it to the Discord group, and that way uh, everybody else that's part of the group can benefit from seeing what you are asking or suggesting or anything like that. Because I have found that a lot of people are sliding into my DMs, which I love, but I kind of want to get ahead of it before it starts to get to the point where I stop responding to DMs. Not like I'm some big shot, you know what I mean? But I just want to make sure that I get ahead of it and we create a little bit of a centralized hub for everybody to convene with each other and network. Really, that's the main goal in all of this, is being able to network with people who are in my market, for you guys as well, in each other's markets, what have you. So again, my name is Derek. Welcome if this is the first time to the channel. If you get anything away from it, take anything away from the video, like whether the content, the information, what have you, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button before you left. Subscribe if you think that you are going to take more away from the channel. I try to go live once a day, Monday through Friday, if not Saturdays as well. So yeah, try to cover, and I mentioned this in the last video and I try to mention it at least once a video. This channel was never intended to be like educational. I never wanted to hop on here and come across as, I'm some big shot that knows what I'm doing and you guys don't know, and this is how you're supposed to be doing it. It was never supposed to be that. So I try my best to continue mentioning that this channel was created really to hold myself accountable, because I told myself, if I come on here and I tell everybody that I'm going to go live once a day, Monday through Friday, I'm going to have to, you know what I mean? Well, I'm not going to have to, but it's going to eat away at me if I don't end up hopping on here. And what I end up doing is end up hopping on here first and then realizing, okay, well, I should probably be doing some real estate. You know what I mean? So it holds me accountable to actually get some work done. And then it also, uh, the other reason that I really wanted to create the channel was to be able to document the progress. So, fortunately, I started the channel right before I did my first deal, locked it up on a contract. So I was able to document that whole process, A to Z, beginning to end, cold call to closing table, and that was my intention behind the channel. So I don't think that it was a coincidence that I started to put in extra effort to creating content on YouTube, going live, and documenting my journey. And then shortly thereafter, I get that first deal locked up. So, um, I try to be as transparent, as honest on this channel as possible. Again, not to be educational, but in doing this, I have learned that people who are a few steps behind me, maybe haven't done their first deal, they can benefit from the information that I'm presenting here. And I think that I've gotten a lot of DMs, a lot of comments about this. People are honestly gravitating towards this form of content because it's raw and uncut, right? When you try to go to get some type of information, you usually are searching YouTube on one specific thing, like, how to assign, how to wholesale, and you're going to get really directional, informational type of content, like do this, do this, do this. But I think a lot gets lost in translation, and it's very easy to blend everything together to make it as, sound very simple and easy. But I know that there's a lot of things in between those steps that, some of the bigger YouTubers are saying, do this, then do this, then do this. I know that a lot is getting lost in between there. So again, I'm not hopping on here saying, hey, these people are saying this, but really it's this. Rather, I'm just hopping on here and doing what I know how to do, learning something new every day, trying to implement the things that I'm learning, and hopefully being able to just showcase that to you guys so that you can come to your own conclusions and determinations on, oh, okay, yeah, I've never heard that. Like, that's part of the process. Well, I've never heard anybody else say that, or I've never, you know, heard anybody be as honest as Derek is being, and that's my main goal is just to be honest with you guys. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Nothing here is for sale. So yeah, hopefully you appreciate that. So I'm gonna hop on. I'm gonna try to blow through my follow-ups that I have on my dialer. If you read the description here, that's what my goal right now is. Usually I'm kind of like talking through the dials. I'm talking through, and kind of prefacing each follow-up call that I'm making, like, okay, this is the lead that this happened, this is the lead that this happened, and this is why I'm calling them. I'm going to do a little bit of that right now, but I'm going to keep it pretty minimum, so it may not be the most like eventful follow-up session right now, but that's on purpose. I don't want to waste time. Usually I'll sit here and I'll waste time talking through these leads before I even dial them, and then I'll dial them and they don't answer, so I just wasted a bunch of time. So I'm kind of just going to get right to it. This gentleman is the primary caretaker for his mother and his grandmother. His mother needs a kidney transplant. His grandmother is early onset dementia. And at one point, me and him were talking really, really good things. I threw out an offer range of 40 to 50,000. I think he liked what he heard. But oh no, this isn't even the same guy. I'm sorry. This guy kept talking about how bad the place was, original condition, yada yada yada. It was his father's. He passed away, and his mom moved out, so he lives there, but his mom's on title. When I first spoke with him on June 7th, he was like, "So you were the first person that I am speaking with about this. So me and my siblings plan to have this conversation with a bunch of other people and kind of figure out what direction we're wanting to head towards." Um, so I never made this guy an offer, but the place is really bad shape, is what it sounds like, and he wasn't afraid to let me know. But it's also worth noting that I've called this guy a number of times since then and have never been able to get back on the phone with him.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hi there, this message is for Darren. My name is Derek. I'm not sure if you recall, but we spoke, gosh, it might have been 6 months ago now, in regards to your property over on Center Street in Pasadena. You kind of, gave me the gist of what was going on with the property, and sounded like you wanted to speak with your siblings to figure out how you were wanting to move forward. I just wanted to round back, seeing if you guys have given it any more thought and wanting to see if selling was something that was still interesting to you. If it is, again, my name is Derek. And as a reminder, my partners and myself, we do have some cash on hand. So we are able to close pretty conveniently and just offer nice, smooth, convenient transition for you guys. Again, if that's something that you're interested in, you can feel free to give me a call at 832-532. I'll talk to you soon. So there's that. I might end up starting to text this guy. That was the first time I've been able to leave him a voicemail. Every other time it was like the voicemail was full. Dial left voicemail. I've been following up with this guy for 6 months. I'm gonna say bi-weekly. Follow up with him bi-weekly. Follow up with him at least once more before the end of the month. Because he was, just the way he was talking when I first cold called him again, he was like, yeah, the place is in really bad shape. The plumbing's horrible. This is horrible. Everything's original. And the whole time he was talking, I was like getting giddy, hearing that type of stuff. Okay, this is somebody who I will likely remove from my list if I don't get on the phone with somebody right now. This person is exactly what I was talking about in my other video. This is not somebody who I should be wasting my time with. But for some reason, I felt that it was appropriate enough for me to set a follow-up call. But now that I have determined like who is truly a lead and who is not, this person is not a lead. A gentleman answered the phone back October 19th from my cold call, mentioned that she is not wanting to do anything like that, and said she was really sick in the hospital when I asked for the woman who's on title here. I think he may have been overly caught up in the moment and stressed how sick she was, but didn't necessarily have the authority to be making the decision on the property on her behalf. So that's my note to myself. I remember getting on the call with this guy and him being like, no, no, she's not wanting to do anything. She's in the hospital. She's super sick. She doesn't want to sell. And I remember thinking to myself, like, is this guy like, I don't know, even know who this guy is. And if he even has the authority to be making that decision for her. For all I know, she's laying up in the hospital bed thinking, I need to sell my house to be able to pay for these bills. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to jump to any conclusions just because he said that. So I did put him on a follow up. I have followed up a couple days later. The first number was out of service, no answer on the second number. So I followed up a month after that, dialed this number that I'm about to dial, and left a voicemail. So I'm gonna try him once more. If I don't get an answer here, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna remove this follow up. It's not worth it. Dogs, man.
Please leave your message for 71323318174.
Hi there. This message is for Miss Miranda. This is Derek. Spoke a few months back in regards to your property over on Avenue E out in South Houston. Just wanted to round back with you, see if you've given it any more thought, seeing if selling would be something that would be interesting to you. Again, my name is Derek, and a partner and myself, we do have some cash on hand. So we are able to buy the place with cash. We can buy it as is as well. So we don't require anybody to make any repairs to the place. We can kind of buy it as it sits. And since we're coming in with cash, we can really offer a smooth and convenient transition for you. If that's something that you think you may be interested in, please feel free to give me a call back. This is my direct line, and the number is 832. I'll talk to you soon. All right, left her voicemail. I'm going to note it, dial that voicemail, but again, I'm going to remove her from the follow up. No point. Never talked to anybody there that said that they're interested. So there's really no point in me continuing to follow up. I'm going to call Jared here. Jared may be interested in selling in the future. I informed him of the benefits. He seemed to like them all. Asked for a text with information so we can continue talking as he was leaving work. That was back on June 23rd. Ran some comps. It's in an area where I did my first deal. I'm very familiar with it. I have ARV at 190. I have my max being at 130 less repairs. So depending on how bad of condition it's going to be anywhere between 70 to 110 is my max allowable. Called him again 2 weeks later, didn't answer. Called him again the 21st of December, connected with him. He said he wanted to call back after the holidays, and I was able to confirm that this is owner occupied. So, uh, a little, some things would have to be done here in order to facilitate a smooth transition. Mainly a leaseback agreement or holdback, however you want to say it, or however you want to structure it. Essentially, I would imagine something that I would ask him is this something where you're going to need to get paid on this property before you buy something new? If so, we can talk about getting you set up with some type of a leaseback agreement where you can remain in the property after you get paid for 30 days. That way you have that 30 days to transition into your new place, right? So estimated value here is 180. I think I feel pretty confident about that 190 mark. Um, the ARV on the first deal that I did was out here in this, not this exact zip code, but in this city, and I calculated ARV then at about 170, and that was shoot six months ago, 7 months ago. So if the market's appreciating the way that I imagine that it has been, I think 190 is pretty good here. So I'm gonna give him a call back, kind of see if I can open up that conversation. Give me one second. But even this guy, um, it being owner, it's just not the hottest of leads. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay in contact with the guy because he said that he's interested in selling, and he's just kind of kicking the can down the road, which is fine. But um, he's not really, even based on the conversations that we've had, he's not really giving me an opening to try to shorten his timeline, if that makes sense. Like usually, it's like the timeline is the only. Well, that's not true. you know, if the timeline were to be the only thing that's like holding them back because they're just generally drag their feet in all their life decisions, which I find to be very common with motivated sellers. There's a reason why they're motivated, likely financial reasons, likely because they have difficult time making, I hate to say it, but good decisions for themselves and their family. Um, and those are the type of people that are going to drag their feet. Like you could have the price, the motivation, and the condition all in line, and everything makes sense, and you can have a verbal agreement. But if they're not ready to literally get up and start packing their shit out of their house so that they can move and get out, then I'm never going to be able to get the deal done. You know. So I have a feeling like that's kind of what this guy is doing right here is like, he wants to sell. He's pursuing the conversation with me. He's entertaining the conversation with me. But every time we really talk, it's like, yeah, I want to sell, but give me another couple months. Give me another couple months. Give me another couple months. But I don't really have, if I were to, the point of what I'm saying is if I had the condition of the place, if I knew why he wanted to sell, especially if I knew the motivation, and we were kind of in the same ballpark as price, then I would try my very best to shorten his timeline by digging deeper in the motivation, digging deeper into his pain points, and really trying to paint a picture of what's going to happen if he continues to drag his feet. But at this point, I don't really know what's going to happen. For all I know, he's just sitting pretty, no real motivation, not really in any type of a distress situation. So dragging his feet is not really even dragging his feet. It's just kind of hanging out, living his life. Um, so let me give him a call. Try to figure out. I hate when it says no call history to. Oh, I guess it's because I'm dialing him like this. I just never know. If I get him on the phone, I'm going to remove these other numbers. I need to make a habit of doing that too. Oh, I already have saved his number, so it's all good with this guy. But with anybody else, I need to just start getting rid of the bump numbers so that I know which one to call.
Hello.
Hey, Jared. Okay. Okay. Ernest, question to ask him. What's the difference between now and then? Exactly. Perfect. Right? Oh, what has to happen before you make the decision? What is if you don't sell right now, what's your plan? What's your plan if we don't end up coming to an agreement, right? And that's why it's like it'd be a lot easier um to like dig deep into his pain and motivation and ask these type of questions if I knew that he he's pushing out the timeline for no good reason, right? Like, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say if I've already had the conversation with him and he was like, "Yeah, we're falling into foreclosure," or "Yeah, we need to sell because of X, Y, and Z." Um, but give me a couple months. I want to talk about it. Give me a couple months. Then I can be like, well, like what's going to happen with the situation if we don't end up coming to an agreement, right? I can dig a little bit deeper into that pain, but I don't really know uh, anything about it. I hardly pre-qualify the guy. I just know that uh, he's interested in selling. That's all, and he is kicking the can down the road, but it's enough for me to at least give him a call like that. Like I could care less if he's gonna hang up on me. Um, I would imagine, and mind you, this is property on my driving for dollars list. So especially these type of people, I have no issue following up with them every so often, even if they're gonna hang up on me, as long as at one point in time they told me that they were interested. So I'm looking at this guy's property on Zillow right now. It's physically distressed. There, and I mentioned that it's on my driving for dollars list for the reason being there was something that I identified about this property that made me believe that, hey, if I gave this person a call, the property looks to be in such bad shape that they may be interested in selling. So looks like, I mean, either the garage door is up or there is no garage door, but the garage is flooded with junk. The siding's kind of ripping apart. I think the junk is probably what did it for me on this one. There's just a lot of junk here, and it's a little difficult because I am virtually driving for dollars. Like they have window AC units as well. That's something that okay, yeah, they got a boarded up window on the side of the house, so it's in distress. It's in distress for sure. To reduce hangups, I say, Derek, this is Ernest. How you been? Give it a shot. Okay. Okay. Yep. What up, man? Let's get it. What's going on, Jeremy? Ernest, I like that. I like that. That was something actually that I mentioned on my last video or a couple of days ago was I caught myself approaching my lead follow-ups the same way that I approached my cold calling. Exactly like you're almost saying. Like I find myself just doing that. I'm pretty sure I just said that same thing, Ernest. Uh, when I say, hey, first name, hey, Jared, I'm sure 20 other people a day call him and approach the phone call just like that. So you're absolutely right. That's something that I'm gonna try it right now. Actually, I'm gonna take note of this. Dialed seller pick up, but hung up once I mentioned his name. We'll call in a couple weeks. This the guy may even. I mean, we've hit it off. The phone calls that we have had have been very high vibes, mind you. Granted, we haven't dug deep into pre-qualification, but I know the guy. We've texted before back and forth a little bit, just to try to coordinate a time to get on the phone. But I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if he actually have even saved my number. But I'm calling off a different number now because my Google Voice was giving me issues. So let me. I'm gonna push this follow up. Couple. Oops, like a week or two out. It's today, the 11th. Man, time's flying. Already 2 weeks into January. It's crazy. All right, Carla May. This woman, uh, interested, 63 years old. The son really wants to sell and thinks it will be easy. She's coming to terms with selling, but doesn't want to make any quick decisions because she's made some poor real estate decisions in the past. Apparently, she took out like a 30,000 HELOC and filed for bankruptcy twice. Since then, bankruptcies have been satisfied, and she's out of debt. It sounds like. She was also throwing out hypothetical numbers at one point. Let's just say you offered me 50,000. She says, which I don't think would happen, but let's just assume. And I'm thinking, I could definitely offer you 50,000. I remember that. She also said things like, realistically, I think you probably offer 10 to 20, but if I'm able to walk away debt free, that's most important. She just quit smoking, mentioned that the whole house smells of smoke. She's lived in the neighborhood since she was in kindergarten, wants out of the neighborhood. Mentioned having a grandkid that was turning 2 years old this week. These are just notes for myself so that I can kind of mention them in my follow up calls. Uh, Also mentioned that the Floreses, her neighbors, are seriously interested in selling their house as well down the street. They were already on my list, funny enough. Um, and she didn't feel comfortable passing their information along. So I don't know why she felt comfortable telling me that they were interested in selling. But Connected with her a few weeks later. She thinks she owes. So this is the sticking point with her. She thinks she owes 170,000 on the property on her mortgage. PropStream says she owes 20,000. She's a bit wishy-washy and keeps using the mortgage as an excuse. I say ask for a call back at the beginning of next year to allow her some time to figure out the information on her mortgage company and also getting her affairs in order. So I get that. Let me give her a call. Yeah, I at one point I felt like she was using it as an excuse, that whole mortgage thing. But apparently, she the lender did end up being in some type of a civil suit. And she was like, "Yeah, you can look it up. I mean, I made a horrible again. Just goes back to the bad real estate decisions in the past. I made a horrible decision going with them. They went into this huge, crazy lawsuit, anyways, and now the mortgage is a little over 19,000. So I think that's honestly what she owes. I don't know. Sacramento, California, Jeremy, let's go. I know somebody out there who's flipping. Let me know if you ever come across any opportunities. I know somebody out here there who's really, really doing the business. So uh, if you come across opportunity, Jeremy, let me know. I'll definitely get you in contact with him or his network. So he's doing big deals out there. I'm from California. I don't know if you knew that. I'm out here in San Jose, so I do all the time. Let me know. Let me know if you need help dispo. Uh, I got buyers, or I got buyer who knows buyers. I'm sure. Let's chat off here after. Yeah, slide into my DMs on Instagram or hop into that Discord. Both of the links are in the description. You can reach me through either one of those ways. My email should be somewhere too. I stopped dropping my email in the comments just because I felt like I was starting to get a little spam. But just, hit me up on Instagram or the Discord, and I'll be more than willing to shoot you my email and my cell phone number so that we can hop on a call or whatever. But yeah, Sacramento, anywhere out there. It's fine. I don't know exactly where, like specifically. I don't study the market like he does, I'm sure, but yeah, he's doing big things. I think he just closed the deal for like 80 something plus. It was a flip. He flips, so but he is starting to acquire some doors for himself. So I don't think that it needs to be any specific buy box that you need to meet in order for him it to be attractive enough for him. I think the numbers just need to make sense. Perfect. I need both. Yep.
Hi, this is Carla.
Carla, how's it going? This is Derek.
I'm sorry, this is who?
This is Derek. I'm not sure if you recall. Some months back, we had connected. We were going back and forth a little bit about your property over on Parker Road.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
not going to do anything right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Last time we left.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just right now, it's not a good time.
Sure.
Not at all.
Sure. Okay. I'm sorry to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there a more appropriate time you think that I'd be able to follow up and kind of have the
Not right
conversation?
now.
Okay. All right. Well, I
Not
appreciate you.
right now. My son's kind of got to get his act together a little bit, too.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the call, and I hope that we can speak soon when the time is better for you.
All righty. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Not gonna waste my time. Connected with seller. She kept saying not right now. Not a good time. She hates her son. She talks so bad about her son. That's not the first time she did that. Um, I don't have kids myself, but me and my girl talk about this very frequently. How we want to treat our kids and raise our kids, but it's definitely the complete opposite of how she talks about her son. Uh, Let her talk. Yeah. I know what her situation is. I've talked with her a number of times, but yeah, for sure, I need to let her open up the conversation. Her son, that's what I was gonna say. She talked mad crazy about him last time, about how um, he's the one who really wants to sell because he is a lazy ass and doesn't work and wants her to sell the property so that he can get paid. but she lives there. So this one was kind of far fetched, anyways, with everything that was going on. But again, that's what a lot of these are, and that's why I'm really wanting to call through them to determine when is an appropriate time for me to follow. Like this woman, there's no point in actively following up with her. Um, Son needs to get his act together. Like, what? You gonna say that about your son to a stranger? I don't even know her. Um, Talk to her every couple months. Francisco. This guy has a lot that I have continued offering him $50,000 for, and he is interested, but um, same thing. Doesn't just kicks the can down the road. Doesn't want to make any decisions. He still feels like he might build a house there. That's what his intention was in buying the lot in the first place, and he still thinks that after a couple years of him owning the place, he's maybe one day going to build a place, which I don't think will ever happen.
Hello.
Francisco, how's it going? This is Derek.
All right, ready, Eric?
Yeah, this is Derek. How's it going?
Very good, man. I'm here.
Yeah. Did you have a good holiday season?
Yeah, so far, yeah, but I'm here right now next to my mother's watching the hospital, so she's sick.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear.
Yeah.
Gosh. Well, doesn't sound like I caught you at the best time, but I was just following up about that lot out in Laporte. If you were still interested in selling there.
Oh, you asked for the lane for the what you said for that one for sale, right?
Yeah, that lot on the I believe it's on the corner on North 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you recall, we were talking 50,000. You seemed interested. Did you have a chance to speak with the wife about it?
Not really, but I think we cannot sell it right now. Maybe we can change my mind. I can sell it later.
Yeah, okay. When would be, I guess, a more appropriate time for me to follow up?
Yeah.
When do you think I should follow up? Is it, a few months? Do you think, next year, 5 years?
Yeah, no, I think not too far away, maybe a couple few months.
Okay. All right. I'll give you a call in a month or two. And I hope that everything's okay with you guys over at the hospital. I'll keep you in my prayers, okay?
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it for that.
Absolutely. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Spoke with seller. Hospital. I couldn't quite understand what he was saying, but I think his wife's in the hospital for something. Uh, um, Give him a call in a month. Beginning of next month, at least, like 3 weeks. Benny said his tenant had been there for 5 years and that they're going through a credit check and whatnot. And right now, in order to purchase a place, I highly doubt that that's going to happen. He sounded like he had property in Richmond and Rosenberg as well. As when I mentioned his property out in Beasley, he was like, oh, yeah, that one. So it sounds like he has a number of properties. I'm not too familiar with the Beasley market. I don't even know where it is in comparison. Pull it up on PropStream real quick just to get a general idea, because I don't even know if this is going to be an area where people are going to buy. Yeah, I mean, it's out there close to Rosenberg, small little market. You can probably drive end to end in less than 5 minutes, which is kind of what this other property is looking like. Um, it's what this other property is looking like out in Austin, the lead that I'm working right now. It's like really remote little market, but there is activity. And with the lead that I'm working, there is activity, flip activity going on in that little sub market, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to call this guy. I've already, since then, I've tried calling him 4 or 5 times and never been able to get him on the phone. Um, and to be quite honest, I just don't really like the area. Uh, Juan mentioned that she has liens, kept saying that there are other issues with the property, didn't actually indicate that she wanted to sell, but kept mentioning that she couldn't sell if she wanted to. Spoke with the grandmother, who mentioned that the people living there, sounds like her kids possibly, are not interested in selling. Derek had tried to confirm that he was speaking with the same person as somebody in the past, mentioned they were interested, but she corrected Derek, saying that they aren't. So this is another one that I just mistakenly left pending. Richard, this guy I will never forget, because back in the day, before I knew what the hell I was doing, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm moving through it. Uh, this guy, I texted. I started exploring texting as a marketing channel, and this gentleman texted me back, was like, "I'm not going to sell for anything less than 55,000." And just the language alone, me being a newbie, read that and was like, "Ah, okay, he's asking for something way higher than what his property's worth." And then like weeks later, we decided to take, scale back and cancel our texting subscription. So we were gonna get rid of that marketing channel and just go straight cold calling. And but we started pulling the leads that we felt were worth following up with, that we generated through text. And we saw this guy, and I was like, yeah, this guy. Let me run. I just want to run the numbers real quick. Now that I have a little bit more experience, 55,000 doesn't seem to be that crazy. And I ran the numbers, and 55 was like a smoking deal. Just let it pass me by because I didn't know what I was doing. And then I revisited it and called him, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need 75." But even then, we don't want to sell. We're gonna build a place. Same thing, double lots. Last asking price was 75,000. That's a note that I have for myself from October 20th. I've followed up with them a few times since then with no success, and I will give them a call right now, see if I can get them on the phone. Hello? I'll call back. How many leads do you have in your CRM? It's a good question. Well, to answer your question in kind of a roundabout way, I do not operate off of a central CRM. Um, Rather, I'm exploring two different marketing channels: texting and cold calling. So any leads that I generate through my texting platform, I set myself follow up calls, follow up tasks on the diary system within my texting platform, and then vice versa on my dialer. If I generate any leads through cold calling, I will set myself follow up calls on my dialer. So I couldn't give you a concrete number, but like right now, I have like 20 people that I want to call through in terms of follow up today. A lot of them aren't really crazy hot leads. I'm looking at my board right here. I have one gentleman who I'm hoping I lock up tomorrow, who is closer to Austin. That was somebody who I texted about one of his properties out in Houston. He's like, "No, I don't want to sell that one, but I have this one out near Austin that I'm interested in." So I've been talking with him about that. I'm gonna try to get somebody to swing by in the area today or tomorrow to get some pictures of the exterior. He already sent me pictures of the interior, all that good stuff. So that one's pretty much, we already have an agreement on price and everything. He just is a little bit skeptical and has his guard up because he just got burned by somebody who backed out last minute, like a couple days before closing. So that's that one. I have another gentleman who has 6 single families who's wanting to offload those. I have a buyer pretty much lined up at the price that he wants for all 6 of those. So I called him this morning actually, and he just wants to talk with his CPA and determine if it's. He doesn't even know. He threw out 700,000 for all 6 properties, and then when I said, even if we could do that 700,000, is it something that you would want to explore? And he's like, to be honest, I don't even know. I want to sit down with my CPA, determine what cash price I would need in order to forego the cash flow that all 6 of these properties are providing me. I have another one. I mean, yeah, to answer your question, I'm not quite sure. I can't really point to anywhere or pull up any specific tab that will give me a number. Um, but something that I'm focusing on is really just increasing the amount of offers per day. That's what I want to do, is just hone in on uh, staying active, staying consistent, and making offers, because I do not do this full time, although I wish that I could. Um, I'm just, yeah, trying to do what I can with the time that I have. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Richard, how's it going? This is Derek.
Are good? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just wanted to round back with you. I don't know if you recall, a few months back, we were going back and forth a little bit about your property out on Majestic Street.
That property is already sold, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm late to the party then.
Yeah.
Well, while I have you, would you happen to have any other property you might be interested in selling at the moment?
Not at this time, sir, but I'll let you know if we find something else. Okay, thank you.
All right, appreciate you. Bye now. See, I'm late to the party. Property already sold. No other property at the moment for sale. That's annoying. But I'm also not upset at that, because I followed up constantly with that guy. Once I figured out that I made the mistake initially by letting it pass me by, that opportunity at 55,000, I was on him. I was constantly following up with him. I just was never able to get a hold of him. That was actually the first time I've talked to that gentleman who was the decision maker. Every other conversation I had was through text with his son. And his son kept deferring to his father. My father's doing this. My father's doing this. Smack him. So, if it was any other opportunity, I think I would have been upset at the fact that I lost out on that one. But I did everything that I could. I think obviously I could have followed up more actively, but um, I feel comfortable with the amount of times I followed up and unsuccessfully. I'm sorry. I did. Just skip trade 600 records. Houston absentee owner homes down to cold call 'em. If not, it's cool. Absolutely, I'm down to cold call 'em. Send them through. Damn, I forgot you don't do this full time. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you consider full time, right? Um, I may be putting in just as many hours as somebody who says they do it full time, but I work another gig here, so. But yeah, REI, send them through. I'm definitely down to call it. What I'm gonna do with your list when I import it into the dialer, I'll just make sure that I tag it like REI Capital, so I don't have to necessarily create a whole new campaign for your list, but rather, if an opportunity does pop up, I can just kind of quickly take a peek at how it's tagged and then make sure to loop you in if it is one of your properties here. All right, Hugo recently painted the inside and out. Roof installed about 5 years ago. Garage converted into a master bedroom with master bath and jet spa bathtub. Original hardwood floors in living room and bedroom. Ceramic tile and kitchen dining area. Updated kitchen 5 years ago and new windows throughout. HVAC put on about 5 years ago. I connected with him Seller wants 150 to 160, but mentioned tax assessed at 110. Derek offered 80. Hugo had his head in the clouds. That's my note for myself. Um, Let me see what. Okay, yeah, same area. I'm very familiar with the area. ARV on this, depending on the size, is probably no more than like 160, 170. His estimates at 160. I think it'll probably okay. I mean, the place looks to be in decent shape though. There's pictures on Zillow, probably from when he listed it for rent. I mean, it definitely is dated though. Let me see when this was listed or posted. Oh no, if these are from 13, I don't know, but let's give him a call. Give him a call. But yeah, recently painted inside. This was May of 2021. Roof installed 5 years ago, so newer roof, master bed, original hardwood, ceramic, updated kitchen 5 years ago. So depends on what that means. New windows, new HVAC. So I mean, it may just be like a light to average rehab is how I'm kind of gathering that. With his estimate being a 160, 1100 square feet, I think the ARV of this would probably be like 175 without actually running the comps. Again, I'm very familiar with the area, intimately familiar with it. This is where I did my first deal, so I'm pretty confident on the numbers here. Um, so yeah, I think I would just want to be somewhere around 90 max. What did I offer? 80 with some room to move. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's talking taxes. Let me just give him a call. You hear me though? I forgot your name already. Ernest, you hear me? You hear me implement this? I feel like it's already working out for me. Appreciate you for that. That's what I'm looking for. I want you guys to keep me accountable, hold me accountable. Nitpick, please do. Say, hey, you're doing this. I think you should do it like this. I will not take any offense to that. I invite it. Encourage you guys to continue bringing those suggestions. No answer. I'm gonna text this guy though. Dial did not leave voicemail. Texted. Spoke with Miss Taylor. She seemed to have been busy. Said that she was not interested right now. When Derek asked if in the near future, she said yes. And I asked, okay, I remember this woman. I'm probably surprised I haven't already followed up with her. I'm sure I have. I just didn't note it. When I asked when an appropriate time would be to follow up, she said next week. So I definitely called her back. I remember this one very specifically, but I just don't think I've been able to connect with her since then. That was back in July that I had like, oh, and that's why. A lot of these are from my old dialer. I switched over from Mojo to Call Tools, and when I brought the leads over, I didn't like bring in the notes of me calling and leaving voicemails and texting. I only brought over the relevant information. So I remember this woman and thinking how odd it was that she said, "No, I don't want to sell right now," which prompted me to ask, "Well, do you think you'd be interested in the near future?" She said, "Yeah, possibly." And I said, "When's a more appropriate time for me to follow up?" She said, "Next week." Mm, so I'll give these, I don't know which number it is. I got two numbers here. I'll give them both a try.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Hi there, this message is for Miss Taylor. This is Derek. Not sure if you recall, a few months back, we were talking a little bit about your property over on Ringgold Street. At the time, you had let me know that you weren't necessarily interested in selling, but that you may be interested in the near future. So just wanted to give you a call back, seeing if you've given it any more thought and if selling was something that you might be interested in. I'll talk to you soon. Try this other number.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? This is Derek. Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if I spoke to you. It might have been the wife about your property over on Ringgold Street. At the time,
Let me tell you something. I ain't got nothing to do with property over there. So what you do, don't call this number here no more, but no Ringo. If ain't no Ringo, I don't say no Ringo. That's way next home. I say way ahead of Jersey. So don't call this phone no more, okay?
okay.
Okay.
Thanks for taking the call. I appreciate
All right.
it. Have a good one.
All right.
That guy had gumbo in his mouth. I didn't understand a word he said other than "don't call this number." Uh, it sounded like that may be the wrong number though. The way he was talking about the property, this isn't. He kept. I think I heard this isn't Ringgold Street. Don't call me about this Ringgold Street. I don't know anything about it. So I'm just going to delete that number. Again, that was kind of a crapshoot. I knew that it was either going to be the wrong number or I was going to get lucky. But I didn't understand a word that guy said. All I heard was "don't call this number," okay? Uh, and then I let it breathe for a second, and he wanted to make sure that I heard. He said, "Okay." I said, "Okay, okay, man. Sorry." Not interested, but had some consideration in his voice. Said he would save Derek's number because he wasn't wanting to move or do anything like that until next year. Really appreciated Derek's phone call. High vibes. See, this is not one that I'm going to call right now because this is one that I probably should have never even said as a follow up. But um, okay, this is woman. First connected with this woman back in April last year. Properties and probates. No interest in selling at the moment. Asked when I should follow up. She got emotional. Oh, this wasn't even me. This was my partner's note. He connected with her and said, "When should I follow up?" And she got emotional and said, "10 years," and started crying and hung up. So we came to the conclusion that it was the death was probably recent. I months later, spoke with a woman named Tammy. Her mother is the owner here that's still on title, or at least that we have on title, that passed away in 2018. She mentions that she's the only one who pays the taxes and HOA fees on it, but that she's in court with her sister now trying to argue her case. Not really sure what that means, but she asked for a call back early next year. Sounds like there's just some disputes as to who's going to retain ownership of the property. There we go. I got some call coming in. Not sure who it is. Hello, this is Derek.
Okay.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
Hi, this is Derek. May I ask who's calling?
Can somebody come here from there?
Possibly. Um, I've been calling around to some homeowners to see if there may be any interest in selling their property. Would you be interested?
Well, not right now, but thank you.
Sure. What's your name? Just so I hate when people do that. I hate when people do that. Like, you're gonna call me and not announce yourself, not tell me your name, tell me that you're not interested, and now I'm gonna call you back probably in a few days to ask you the same thing because I have no idea who you are. Um, I mean, I guess I can. Let me just write down his number. I hate that. That is my pet peeve. I got a few pet peeves. It's not even uploading. I have a few pet peeves in this business that I've already been able to identify. One of them is when you are cold calling, and what is it when you cold call and I ask. I'm always looking for two things: one, to determine if I'm speaking with the right person, and two, whether or not they're interested in selling. And it frustrates me so much when I ask, is this the right person? That's not exactly how I say it, but is this the right person? Yeah, this is the right person. Yeah, I was calling you about that property, and before I'm able to ask, they hang up, or like, they just hang up in like the worst of times that doesn't allow me to. Sometimes I can pretty safely assume, like, okay, right when I mentioned the property, they hung up, meaning they're not interested. But sometimes they'll hang up in like really obscure points in the conversation, like before I even mention the property or before I even mention why I'm calling, and they hang up, and it's like, damn, like, I gotta call you back, like, I gotta know if you're interested or not. But yeah, now his number's not popping up. I'm using an app called Sideline. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's very bare bones. Like, it's very simple, not very complex. So like it's not loading that number that just dialed me. Hopefully, unknown number is what's popped up on my notification. So I'm gonna have to call the guy back. Sorry, but um, yeah, I was gonna call Tammy. That's who I was gonna call. Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like they are in some type of a dispute as to who is going to retain ownership of the property. Now that their mother has passed away, unfortunately, that comes up more often than you think. My family is actually going through the same exact thing. My grandmother passed away last year, and my uncle feels that since he was the one who lived with her and tended and cared for her towards her later years, that he is entitled to the property and nobody else is. But everybody's looking at him like, nobody really asked you to move in with her. We could have very easily just had somebody else care for her. I don't know, not to talk bad about my family on here, but they're going through it as well. So my mom was the executor, or whatever it's referred to as. So she was kind of in charge of everything, and was the one kind of speaking with everybody, facilitating everything. And then my uncle went out, got his own lawyer, and tried to beat my mom to the punch with some type of paperwork that was needed to be filed. And my mom was like, okay, that's not happening. And so she went and got her own lawyer who's working pro bono because it's such a strong case. He's like, yeah, that's fine. Once you get the property, you're going to have to sell it. And that's how I'm going to get paid. And she's like, that's fine. As long as he doesn't take it down and really he doesn't work. He doesn't, So, anyways, that's enough about my family. But I'm very familiar with it now that my mom's going through it. She keeps me in the loop without everything, and it comes up quite often with these sellers as well, unfortunately.
Well,
Hey, Tammy, how's it going? This is Derek. We had spoke. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you recall. We spoke a few months back in regards to what I believe was your mother's property over on New Tree Lane.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, how you been? How was your holiday season?
It sucks.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear it.
We don't have to make any small talk. What's going on?
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a call back. I know the last time we spoke, it sounded like you were in some type of a legal battle with the sibling, I believe, and as to who was going to retain ownership of the property. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah.
Has any progress been made in that regard?
No. I mean, I need to call my lawyer and find out have they heard anything from her lawyer, but they haven't responded back in a while. So I don't know if they've given up on it or what's going on right now. But
Yeah, and do you mind me asking, like, what is the argument that's being made?
she's trying to contest a will that was left. That is when it was left to me. She's trying to contest it, but it's a pretty strong case that I have. So I'm not sure if her lawyer advised her that just to leave it alone, and he just hasn't reached out to my lawyers or what's going on. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. Unfortunately, I am all too familiar with this. This is exactly what's going on with my family as well. My grandmother recently passed away, and my mom is arguing the will that was set up. And my uncle went out and got a new will drafted, got his own lawyer. So I definitely understand where you're coming from and the situation at hand. Are there any scheduled court hearings set right now for the future?
No, I mean, I need to call my lawyer. I really just was giving him a break because I owe him like $1,000 left on the balance.
Gotcha.
So I really had a good bothering him, But
Yeah.
I'm gonna get all this to see what's going on.
Right.
Because I know that's all I do. And he says, "Hey, where's that $1,000?" But
Yeah.
anyway, no, I mean, I really. I'm behind on the taxes. I really, it's really a big headache for me right now, and
Sure.
I'm not living in the home. Come to find out, she has left my nephew living in this house and has abandoned the house and stopped paying the water bill, and now the water is off. And
Oh no.
he just called me yesterday morning, and I'm like, this is strange, hey, what's up? What do you mean? Because they were all pretty ugly to me when this first started, which made me leave my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't talked to them,
Right.
And come to find out, apparently she has left him there, and he's, young and irresponsible. So the water is off, and it's been off for a month, and it's like, that's terrible for the plumbing, So I'm really trying hard not to stress all of these things. I wish I could take an offer on it right now, but I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, and I guess I'd like to apologize. I hope that me calling you on the property doesn't bring up any emotions that you're not wanting to feel or anything like that. But the way it sounds and
It most definitely does, but I had to confront the situation,
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to mention. correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like if you were to win the legal battle, that kind of just selling it as is, as a reminder, that's how we would be looking to buy the property. We have cash on hand, so we can kind of buy it as it sits. We wouldn't require you to make any of those repairs that you're kind of mentioning that it may need. It sounds like that's kind of the route that you would want to take if you were to win the legal battle.
I mean, that's where I'm at right now, only because I'm in a different position.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
position that I'm, forces me to do something like that, because that's like a desperate decision to take so much less of what I could actually get for it with a little bit of work.
Yeah, yeah, and I
You know?
hear, yeah, I definitely hear where you're coming from, and um, I don't, I hear what you're saying, but I wouldn't necessarily call it desperate, but rather making an educated decision. And I try to be as honest with everybody as possible. I'm never going to, not let you know that, of course, we do have to make an offer that reflects the amount of repairs that the property needs, as well as a small profit for us, right? By no means are we looking to hit the lotto, but we do got to keep the lights on and cover the overhead. So, it really comes down to what it is that you're wanting to do. If anytime that I speak with a homeowner and they have the means and the desire to go in there and make all of the repairs themselves and then list it on market, by all means, you will make more money doing that. And I don't want to deter you from doing that and making that decision. But if kind of just wanting to wipe your hands clean with it, not have to go in there and dump any more money into the property to fix anything up, and just looking for that quick cash sale, then I'd love to be the one that helps you out.
Right. Well, I'm not sure if I can even do that with the probate not being settled or not.
Right. Right. And that's why I kind of asked about the if there was any hearing dates set, because I'd like to just kind of stay in contact with you, continue to keep the conversation open so that hopefully, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you when the decision goes your way. We can start kind of weighing out our options.
Yeah. So I will. I know that if I do take an offer with the probate not being settled, I have to have her signature on.
Yeah,
So
and
I have to send her a check.
yeah, and to be honest, with the legal dispute in place and the fact that it hasn't already passed through probate, we likely wouldn't be able to close on it until it gets resolved anyways. So that's why I say, I'd love to stay in contact with you and just get a little bit better understanding. Probably, this is what I'll propose, and I'll ask if this is something that you can get on board with. I'd like to give you a call. I don't know when it is that you planned on rounding back with your lawyer, especially with that that outstanding bill there. But if I give you a call in maybe a few weeks, give you that opportunity to round back with your lawyer and see kind of where the legal battle, in what direction it's heading, to maybe get a little bit better understanding of the timeline in which this will get resolved. And then I'd love to just find that out so that I can kind of follow up appropriately. I don't want to continue hassling you and bothering you, but rather just kind of, be right by your side so that when things do get resolved, I'm ready to pull the trigger.
Okay. No problem. You may call in a couple of weeks.
All right. That sounds good. I appreciate your time, Tammy. Have a good one. Okay.
All right, Eric.
Bye. What do you think? What do you think? Now I'm out here. I know you guys are out here critiquing me. That was a good one, I think. Yeah, again, I think I'm accurate in that. I was kind of spitballing when it comes to the probate. Based on my understanding, I wouldn't be able to, nobody would be able to close on it if it hasn't already passed through the probate process. So I think I was accurate in that statement. She was kind of, it seemed like she was leaning towards doing something like putting it under contract now. I mean, I think I just did a really good job of explaining the options, right? Because that's what it comes down to. She said, I don't want to make a desperate decision. And, that's very desperate to sell it for less than what it's worth. It's like, well, you wouldn't really be selling it for less than what it's worth. You would be selling it for its as is condition. Let me know if you can help me comp this property later. Shoot, I might not be able to help you comp any properties now that prop stream's down. But yeah, send it through. Send it through. You can DM me on Instagram, Jared. I'll take a peek, pull it up on Redfin. That's how I've been comping my properties now. That was a good one though. Spoke with Tammy. She doesn't know the current status of the legal battle. Her lawyer and her sister's lawyer have not been in communication. Tammy plans to reach out to her lawyer to see what direction this is heading. She mentioned that her nephew currently lives there and the water is off, and that all of the other bills are in her name and are becoming burdensome to keep up with. Eric and Tammy plan to revisit the conversation in 2-ish weeks, which will give her enough time to discuss next steps. Her lawyer, please. And now I know. I mean, it's fallen into disrepair. You know what I mean? It's not looking good. The water's turned off. What else did she say? I mean, all the bills. She has somebody essentially squatting there. Although it's family, they're squatting. Doesn't sound like they're paying if they can't keep the plumbing on. I heard Flipman say you could still come through it. Said you just had to do something differently. I think it's in for non-disclosure states. It's bunk. It's no good anymore. I don't know though. Maybe I don't know Flipman if he has something. What's his name? Ty. If he has a workaround, I'd love to learn that for PropStream, just so I don't have to go through the process of switching from PropStream to something else like Batch. But the way that I understand it, there's nothing that you can do in non-disclosure states, because our bread and butter, our saving grace was the fact that PropStream had that sold data. Whereas in disclosure states, it doesn't really matter that the sold MLS data is being rid of, because they can operate off of public record regardless, because it's being disclosed. I'd be talking about the regular states. Yeah. So the way that I understand it, non-disclosure states, there's no PropStream is done. That's the way that I understand it. All right, this is going to be the last call that I make. I think I'm going to try to connect this person. I called them the other week and was like, they're asking 100,000 for the double lots, something like that. Not quite sure what he meant by it, and this also isn't his property. He was speaking on behalf of somebody else and told me to call them back because they want 100,000 for it. Oh, the homeowner had passed away, and whoever retained ownership of it wants 100,000 for the double lots. Asked for a call back to speak to the owner. I called back, they didn't answer, so give them a call back again right now. I agree, Jared. Yes, I do plan on starting a little earlier. Always. I've been trying to just get up out of bed and get to it. Yeah, I just have. Hello?
Yeah.
I forgot that was the voicemail. Yeah. I'm gonna push this out another week. If I don't If no response, try other numbers. I'll call them at the end of this week. They want to sell, asking something reasonable, it seems like, for 2 lots. So I'll give them a call. But yes, to answer your question, Jared, that is my exact plan moving forward, just in general, is getting my ass out of bed earlier, because Houston's 2 hours ahead of me. So I may wake up at 6:37, but it's already 8:39 in Houston, which is appropriate, I think, to already be hopping on the dialer. So that's definitely something that I want to do, is just generally start a lot earlier, so that I can. What's happening is it seems like I'm getting a lot. I do better because I think I give myself time to wake up, and I'm and just getting more done in one day. So it's like it seems like I'm doing better because, well, honestly, because I am, because I'm filling my days. Whereas, in the past, I would just cold call, or just do lead follow up, or just text. But now that I've been getting going a little earlier, I have like an opportunity to kind of do everything, and it's starting to um, kind of come to fruit for me. I'm gonna dial through these lists for a minute, hop back on the dialer, see if I can get another lead or two, and then I'm gonna probably skedaddle for the day. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot about this too. I just bought 4 leads. That's something that I want to do.
Your name and phone number after the beep.
I'm going to talk on that in a minute. Um, Place looks nice. I'm just looking at the house of the woman that is in that legal battle. I'm taking a look at it on Zillow. It looks nice on Zillow. Hello? 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 Can you hear me? But yeah, I just bought 4 leads, um, from speed to lead. Speed to lead. What it is a lead. Hello? Hello? It is a lead marketplace. Oh, I got through that quick. It's a lead marketplace where they are running PPC ads for people who want to sell their house quick for cash, or whatever the case is for what their ad says. And then they sell you these leads, right? I don't know. I didn't really study the FAQs, but they will tell you they don't sell it to just one person unless you pay them a substantial amount. So you can buy leads exclusively. So it's like, I want this lead and I don't want anybody else to have it. Or you can buy leads that have already been bought and they will tell you how many times they've been bought. So, this person, I'm just going to pull it up right now. So it's essentially a way to purchase leads a la carte, right? Like, I only want 2 leads and I want this lead and I want that one because you'll see what I'm saying. So you can come in and select which state, and then you can come out and just start scrolling through the options, right? So I can go look for the ones that are close to Houston or cities that I'm familiar with. San Antonio, Mount Pleasant, Deer Park. Okay, Deer Park. I'm familiar with Deer Park. That one's sold out. So it got bought too many times. I actually think I bought that one. So I need to call these people. But um, you know, anyways, it doesn't matter. So it'll show you what city, and then it'll show you the main reason for them selling. Tired of being a landlord, downsizing, relocating, sell without showings, death in the family, financial reasons. So this guy looks motivated as all hell. Nobody has bought this lead. He lives in Big Spring, Texas. I'm not quite sure where that is. And then it will give you property condition, fair, repairs, paint inside, paint outside, kitchen appliances, kitchen cabinets, flooring, landscaping. Anyone living in the house, it's owner occupied. How fast are you wanting to sell? 1 month. Yes, I own this property. How long? 15 to 19 years I've owned it. Is there a mortgage? Yes, and I'm behind on my mortgage. No, it's not listed with an agent. This guy right here, Jared, is $469 for this lead. Um, and that's on sale from 533. This lead has already been purchased by someone else. You can see exactly, well, it says that it hasn't. It says that nobody has bought it. So I don't know what the deal with that is. Maybe it's just like a selling point, but this guy's 469. And they give you an off-market guarantee. We guarantee that every lead is off-market or your money back. They will also give you your money back if, when you call, they've already sold. If the person has already sold the property, they have a money back guarantee. So one of the subscribers here, I forget his name, he's in the Discord group, had brought it up. That's what I'm saying. You guys need to get in this Discord. His name is Don Juan. Don Juan hopped in here. He said um, he got one locked up over here for this. Um, they range between 3 to 150. I've closed on one so far. I've spent 250 total on clearance leads. Bought 8 of them. Got a refund on one of them that already got a contract signed when I called. They have a YouTube channel too. I just figured out a few of the affiliates do live calls to these leads. So if you're familiar with RJ Bates, he is an advocate for this, and I just saw that he went live. I didn't watch that, but I saw that he went live. So also some other people in the industry out in San Antonio are backing this. So it's definitely like kind of guru backed, you could say, but it's a la carte, a la carte. You can buy however many leads you want, and if it happens the way that it happened with me, after you sign up, they start pushing the email marketing. So I bought 4 leads of the clearance leads because they went on sale for 97% off before midnight. So I literally bought 4 leads for like $10 total. They're probably not quality leads because, again, they're clearance, which means that they've probably been sitting there for a while, and a number of people have already bought the data. But it was, like I said, some of those were like $1, $2. To me, it's worth, you know, at least giving them a call to see, hey, I just don't know how you would approach it. That's why I do want to watch some of those videos with some of the influencers that are calling through these properties. But I just don't know, like, how do you call somebody who submitted their I would imagine they're probably submitting their information everywhere, so it's probably not going to come as a surprise to them that somebody's giving them a call. But so right here, Robert. This is the Robert I think I bought. Spring, Texas. Downsizing, relocating, retirement elsewhere. Property's in excellent condition. No immediate repairs, but it's in pristine condition. But it's not in pristine condition. owner occupied, wants to sell ASAP, owned the property for 15 to 19 years. He's up to date on his mortgage. No, it's not listed. New Caney, 5 people have bought this. Good, not in pristine condition. It's vacant. Wants to sell ASAP. Owned it for 30 to 35 years. No mortgage. It's not listed. So you can kind of just see, again, let me drop the. Did you call him up yet? No, that's something that I got to do. I'm gonna left myself a note. I'm gonna call him tomorrow. I got to get them imported the information. So you'll buy them. So you can see all this information, and then you'll buy it, and then you can come over to your like my leads tab, and then you can see the ones that you've bought, and then uh, when you bought them, where the name, the city, the price, and then you can click the little eyeball to say view, and then it gives you all the information: first name, last name, telephone number, email. This is all the information that they inputted. That they input is inputted a word? They input into the PPC submission form. So again, this all stems back to them running PPC ads nationwide and then being able to resell these leads to multiple people. Or again, they have options where like you can buy a lead exclusively. You can set yourself up on auto buy. So like if anybody in this market submits information who for the reason that they want to sell is because they're behind on their mortgage, I want to buy it regardless. You don't even have to advertise it to me. Just buy it and pay for it exclusively so nobody else gets it. They do have an option like that, probably for the bigger players who have the money, because again, these leads are probably like some of the hotter ones, they'll price it like $500, like that one that I just mentioned. Um, and I think that they offer a little bit of a discount if you are setting up on auto buy. But again, those are for the people who have processes in place and the people in place to where $500 probably like a couple times a day is still within their marketing budget. Whereas that's probably my marketing budget for the month. So not something that I can entertain. But again, if their email marketing is set up in a certain way, like it was marketing to me, I think it's worth looking into because they will at least give you these discount codes that they offer me. And they're constantly offering me like for the next 30 minutes, 98% off, up until midnight, 50% off. So they're trying to get their name out there. They're definitely not just putting them up for sale for $500 and assuming that everybody's going to come buy it for that. They're definitely pushing it so that I call one of these leads, and like Don Juan did. Don Juan calls one. He's like, "Whoa!" and he wants to go share with everybody. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about this place? So that's what I'm doing now before I've even called them. But check it out, highspeedlead.com. So they're definitely offering all type of incentives and discounts in order to just get the name out there. What was I just gonna do? Oh well, man, that bothers me when I do that. Address, city, state, 2-car detached garage, 3 beds, 1.5 baths. Best time to call anytime. So here you go. What describes your perfect scenario after you sell? Nothing. I'm just cashing out an asset. So there's no motivation there. Unfortunately, you can't see that bit of information until you already pay for it, which is silly, I think. But you get a lot of other information that gives you a general idea of, what they are going to be expecting. But it is vacant. This one that I bought, it's vacant. They want to sell ASAP. Um, they weren't shy in saying that it needs some repairs, fair condition. So, I mean, again, it's still worth calling these people for a couple bucks. But for people like that, I don't know. That's a little frustrating that they didn't tell me that piece of information. Had I known, I probably would have bought another lead. Um, I'm definitely looking for people who want to sell and has some type of a goal in mind, not just, oh, I'm just cashing out the asset, looking to get as much money as possible for it, is what I hear when I read that. I'm dialing now. Just hop back on the dialer for a quick minute.
Send me a DM. Hey, listen, you're thinking about this wrong, all right? But what I want you to do, I really want to help you out with this. Send me a DM with your email, all right? I got a wait list right now for one-on-one students. All right, you can send me an email, chris@startflippingdeals.com. We'll put you on the wait list, and the next time slots open up here. All right, so here's the deal. I just don't agree. The market's not oversaturated. It's just competitive. We teach our students.
Yeah, that scared me.
So what you want to look for for dollars really is distress. You want to see
Okay.
distress. Is the mailbox full of mail? So what you want to look for when you're out for dollars really is distress. You want to see if the property in distress, high grass, is the mailbox full of mail, is the property potentially boarded up. That's tough, man. I've invested in over the years for sure. I think at the end of the day, it just comes from matching with somebody that you guys have mutual interest. You go to charge them or line.
Hello? Hello?
I'm telling you this, help. I will get paid from it, but you will be insane if you don't go. So yeah, I mean, we only make offers on properties when we determine the seller is truly motivated. However, we do teach our students to make what we call a price anchor. A price anchor is what some might call a lowball offer, but it's a number to start the conversation instead of kind of match, skip, tracing. All right, use the coupon code charged up.
Do they let multiple people buy a lead? Yes. So they do let multiple people buy a lead, Jared, but you can see how many other people have already bought it, and you do have the option again to set it up on auto buy if you want to buy it first before anybody else does. And I do also believe that they give you the option to buy the lead exclusively so that it's like, yeah, I want to buy it, but don't sell this to anybody else. And that's going to just come at a premium price. I'm not sure of how much that is. I mean, just poke around on that website there. It's pretty easy to navigate. And I would sign up for, if it interests you at all, I would just sign up for an account. Signing up for an account is free. You do have to put your email in there and they will start email marketing you. But like I said, um, they started sending me offers like 97% off so that I was able to pick up some leads for a couple bucks just to try to test it out. So I'm not so confident in it that I'm going to push you guys in that direction. Like, do this, go to this website, but it's free to just kind of check it out and start getting emails from them. And I think that at least is worth it and start to just kind of poke around in the website to get a feel for it, and make your own decision on whether or not it's something that you're going to explore. Like I said, I'm going to give them a call for those leads that I bought for the first time tomorrow to kind of check it out, see how they act when I call them. Here we go. Auto buy. Set specific counties, level of motivation, and a monthly budget, and we'll auto buy leads for you as soon as they come in. The leads that we auto buy will be exclusive to you without the exclusive surcharge. So if you set up auto buy, they're not going to charge you that premium for the exclusivity of the lead. You're paying the same rate as you would for 1 hour of exclusivity, but getting the leads exclusive. Um, Okay, so it sounds like when they sell it to you exclusively, they sell it to you exclusively for a certain time frame. So they're still going to resell them, but they're going to hold off on selling them until you've had adequate time to reach out and try to connect with the seller. You basically get the ability, I'm reading their website right now. You basically get the ability to grab leads before they are available to everyone else and do it within seconds of the seller submitting the online form to sell. So that's like also the thing. Refund guarantees work the same. If the lead is listed or under contract already, it's your money back. So that's the other thing with PPC ads, PPC leads. Based on my understanding, I've again never run them myself, but based on my understanding, you want to call them immediately when they submit their information through Google Ads, um, because what they're doing is filling out the information on your ad, clicking the back button, and clicking the next ad and filling out their information back. Next ad, filling out their information. So in all likelihood, you're not the only ad that they're providing their information to. Because if they are at the point where they're submitting their information to people, they're serious about selling or at least willing to have that conversation. So you want to be the first one that they talk to, and with that, you want to be the last as well by getting it locked up. So there's like with Don Juan getting that locked up down the road because he bought clearance leads like I bought, so they've been submitted, but not to say that everybody who submits their information that wants to sell right now, maybe they're just right now wanting to feel it out and that they're going to be ready in a couple months. Maybe they're just ahead of the game and wanting to kind of get their affairs in order first, which I imagine is the case for those clearance leads. If they ever do become contracts, it's because when they initially submitted their information, they weren't ready to pull the trigger right then and there, but rather they just wanted to start the process so that they could sell a couple months down the road. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Brown.
Hang on. Hello?
Hi there. Sorry, I'm not sure if I have the right number. Hopefully, you can help me out. I was looking for the owner of a property on Shady Arbor Lane.
Okay, take me off your calling list. I am not selling.
Okay, completely understand, ma'am. I appreciate you taking the call anyways.
Uh-huh.
Bye now. Jared, I'm telling you to send that address through. I'll copy real quick before I leave, if you're interested. You can just DM me the address because I imagine you don't want to comment it here. All right, I got it. Let me dial through the rest of this list here. It should just be a couple minutes, and then I'll comp that one. Brown. What do you think of that name? Brown.
The first name?
Yeah,
I don't like it.
me neither. For a woman. I found that even more interesting. Don't you think?
Yes.
What else? So I'm just kind of on this speed deleting where you can select, again, you can auto select the state, the counties, and the level of motivation. And the level of motivations are as followed: listed on MLS, that's like not motivated, under contract with a wholesaler, low potential for a deal, but great choice for end cash buyers. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. High motivation leads, tenant occupied, vacant properties.
Most of those got in the family.
Something wrong? Extremely high motivated leads. All right, have fun. Man, yeah, these are older lists right here. I want to call through them just to. I know I mentioned this before. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the whole navigation of call tools. It's very clear that I've kind of ran this list dry, and it's not really good use of my time to call through it anymore. But that's what the filters are for, right? So I need to be making that determination beforehand. That way I can just press play with confidence that I'm not wasting my time, right? So the problem is, I mean, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but that's what's going on is I've already called a lot of these people a good number of times, but I'm unable to set like strict parameters. I just have to set general guidelines like, all right, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. So what I'm able to do is say, you know, call each property an average of 8 times. But that's all I'm able to do. So if the property only has one phone number, which happens, I'm going to call that one phone number 8 times. If they have 2 phone numbers, I'm going to call. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Mario.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I might have the wrong number here. Hopefully, you can help me out. So I was looking for the owner of a property on Sandgate Road.
Samgate Road?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I might have the wrong
I'm not
number.
sure. Are you looking for specific somebody with like a name or someone specific?
No, I think I might have just dialed the wrong number here. I apologize.
All right. Okay.
Bye now. Um, and then so if they have two numbers, I'm going to call each of those numbers 4 times. If they have 3 numbers on the property, I'm going to call the first 2 numbers 3 times and the third number twice. And that is how I have it set up because on average, when I import lists, they're going to have anywhere between 2 to 3 phone numbers, right? So I'm either calling 2 numbers 4 times each, calling 3 numbers. Again, the first 2 are going to get 3 times each because it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the first 2 are going to get hit 3 times and the third's only going to get hit twice, um, which is exactly how I'd like to do it. So if all of the properties had 3 phone numbers, it'd be cool and easy because I would feel very comfortable doing that, and I feel like I wouldn't be wasting my time. But it's the properties that squeak through that only have 1 number or 2 numbers where I'm kind of wasting time because they are in all likelihood not the best number. If I've already called that one phone number 6 times, the likelihood of them answering on the 7th time is pretty slim. Um, but again, I have to just set a general parameter. I can't do it on a case by case basis. I just have to do it on a list by list basis. So that's that. That's why like a lot of these lists still have like a couple hundred people on them. Like these lists that I'm dialing through and just kind of blowing through are like 100, 200 people. But I've probably already talked to and connected with the sellers that have any type of motivation on these lists. Now it's just kind of a pipe dream. And I kind of just want to, again, let it run its course because that's what I set it up to do. And I've never really dialed through the list so many times where it's run its course fully. So that's kind of what I'm wanting to do is just let it run its course fully so that I can make the sound determination after the fact. Like, yeah, okay, I called through that list way too many times. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I mean, I've been sitting on this list forever and it's dialing through the people who are picking up. It's the wrong number. I think I got 1 no out of this list that was a little over 100 long, and I'm kind of nearing the end of it now. 20, little over 20 people left. So, whereas on a fresh list, I'd be able to get a hold of 15 to 20 people out of the 100. But now that I've dialed through this so many times, I'm only getting a hold of like 1 person. So it's like 1% conversion rate or contact rate is definitely not worth my time. Even if, I mean, I was gonna say, even if that 1 person is a motivated seller, um, so I take a step back. If that 1 person was a motivated seller, it would be worth my time. But you don't want to. I just don't want to enter into the campaign and dial through it with the assumption that, well, as long as I'm only going to take one, so I'm going to spend an hour calling through this list. I'll probably only be able to get a hold of 1 person. So hopefully that 1 person is a motivated seller. I'd much rather operate under the assumption that, okay, let me call this list of 2,000. I'll probably be able to get a hold of a couple hundred if I dial through the whole thing, and out of those, 400 people, there's bound to be some motivation in there. That's where I want to be spending my time. Don't want to be spending my time doing what I'm doing now. But again, the only reason I'm doing it is just to kind of let it run its course and play it out to the end. So 12 properties left. I think I'm dialing 4 properties every like 30 seconds. So this should only be another minute or two. While that's kind of finishing out, I'm going to pull up Redfin for you, Jared, if you're still on here, and I'm going to try to comp this property. First, I'll pull it up in PropStream just to get a general idea of where it sits. I did just get your correction too, Jared, so rest assured. All right. Yeah, so you're out this way, huh, Jared? I would imagine since you're driving for dollars. If this is a driving for dollars lead, I don't know. It just seems like this is where the leads are coming from that you're generating. Yeah, just don't say add it. Yeah, I got you, bro. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hi, is this Miss Dillman?
Yes?
Hey, how's it going? This is Derek. Sorry, I know this is a bit random, but I was calling about a property I believe you own on Arrowhead Lane.
I sold it.
Ah, okay. Man, late to the party, huh? Well, while I have you, would you happen to have any others you might consider selling at the moment?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the call.
Sure, bye-bye.
Bye. Man, a couple of those in here too, bro. That was probably the last contact of the day. See, and that's the thing. Like, I hate call tools. It said specifically, this list is out of leads to dial. And you would think that that was the end of the list, but I have learned to just let it breathe for a few seconds because it's going to say that there's no more leads, but really what they mean is we're dialing the last few leads and there's no more after this. But you can't see it being dialed. It's not very interactive. So just know that once Call Tools gives you that red notification across the red bar that says it's out of leads, let it sit for another couple of seconds. Because there you go. I got a contact out of it right after it said, don't, no more leads. But now it's, 30 seconds have gone by. I think I'm good to hop off the campaign. But man, I learned that pretty quickly that you got to give it a few seconds first before you just jump off the campaign. All right. All right. So let me hop off the campaign. See, like no abandons on that one because nobody was picking up the phone. So anybody that did pick up, I had 4 answers, 4 pickups on 400 dials. 62 like detections and 58 of those were machines. So 4 of those went to me, and I think only 2 of them I actually spoke with that was the right person. Uh, so on today, 14 contacts, 16 wrong numbers, 9 no contacts, 5 voicemails. So that's that. All right, let me comp this for you real quick, Jared. I have the general understanding of where it is. It sits on a main road, so I'm going to have. I don't know. I'm just gonna generally, because the rule of thumb is you don't want to cross a main road. So I'm going to keep it right now east of this other main road here, and just drop it north and south a little bit more than I would typically. Oops. Just to kind of keep it in these 2 like blocks all the way down to the tollway south and then all the way north up to the next main road. And I go sold in the last year, single or houses rather, with the filters of. So this place is 3.2, 1,700 square feet, 1,800 almost. So I'm gonna go minimum 1,400, maximum 2,100 or 2,250, I guess. Lot size. Our lot is 11,000 square feet, which is a little over a quarter acre. So I'll do minimum 95 on the lot, maximum half acre. That has 11 homes that we're looking at. Now let me throw the year built in here. Hopefully that doesn't break it down to something crazy. 1953 was the year built. I'm going to go minimum 40, maximum. For now, I'm just going to go 60 to see what it gives me. That only marked down one property. So there's a couple of properties right here in this little area, right in this little pocket where our subject property is. And those sold for 600, or rather last listed at 600, both of them, 599, 599, and there's one that sold or listed 500, a little bit north, and then 625. So right in this little pocket. I don't know if you're seeing these properties here, Jared, but there's 3 properties that sold. Comp I was looking at was the next door neighbor. Maybe that would be the best, like right next door. Love the consistency. Thank you, Roxy. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's probably what I'm looking at here, Jared. I'm taking a look at 3 that are right in this little. Yeah, this looks to be the neighbor. 599 is what it was listed at. 3.2, 1938 square feet. I imagine this is the one you're talking about. And then there's another one on the same road, but across the street. 599 as well. 3.2, 1837 square feet, which was sold 3 days before this one. So let's take a look at these and see how they just stack up. And then this one is 625 right down the block for 3.2, 2170 square feet. So that's probably a little bit bigger than what we'd like. But let's take a look at these other two. These 2 first that are right on the same street. I mean, the other one's right on the same street. It's just that I think the front door is facing a different street, so it's technically not on this road here, but definitely still a comp. The neighbors look just like there's also on badge. It says listed 599, but sold for 666. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the stuff that I need to know. Although I don't know about batch, man. With that one that you showed me, that seemed a little funky. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull these into PropStream for right now and see what their estimated mortgage balance is and what they're telling me for. Well, okay, let's take a look first. I'm just gonna assume. I'm not saying that is incorrect, Jared. It's probably accurate. Because on Redfin, it's going to show you the last list price. It's not going to show you the last what it sold for. And quite often in these hotter markets, these hotter areas, you'll see that they're listed for one thing and then sold for something way higher because it got bid up. You know, it's not uncommon in today's real estate market, based on my understanding. So this one's a 3.2. Just want to make sure that so ours is 3.2. So this one's 3.2 as well. This one has about 100 extra square feet. Not even 100, more like 60, 70 extra square feet. Beautiful home. Clearly fix and flip. No debates there. Looks like it has like a back house or something. See what it says in the listing. 2-car garage with an extra room / garage for your workshop, art studio, workout. So that's what I was looking at. Yeah, so 51 build. Ours is 53, so no complaints there. Sits on a quarter acre, just like ours. Yeah, this is probably the one that you're talking about, man. Redfin estimate at 649. So I'm thinking 6 to 620. So let's see. Yeah, if this one sold for 600, which I don't think it did, I think it sold for more, like you're saying. Then I think it's fair to say that ours would be able to sell just for just as much, or yours rather, but our subject property here that we're taking a look at This sold about a month ago with just hardly a bigger square feet, but that extra thing in the back, I don't know what type of garage we're working with here. Garage. Let me pull this property up in Redfin. To get a little bit more information about it. HAR is cool too. 3-2, yeah. 1 story. It's kind of hard to get the information that you want on HAR. They don't really display it nicely. Yeah, it doesn't show me anything about the garage. Do you know, Jared, if it's like a detached 2-car garage or what? But yeah, this one sold for 600, and they all look to be kind of cookie cutter, to be honest. Very similar type 1-story homes sitting on a 1/4 acre. Let's take a look at this other one. This one sold. Oh no, that's the one I was just looking at. This one is 3-2. This one has about 200 extra square feet, or about like 150. Yeah, so they call it like 585. Sold 3 weeks ago. This one is on a bigger lot as well. A little newer, but yeah, the Redfin estimate on this one's 679. This one's gorgeous too. Holy shit! This one's like custom. This isn't your average flip. I guess it is. I was just looking at that shower. Pretty average still. 2-car garage. Let me see if you. His garage isn't detached; it's attached. Is it 2-car garage? I'd imagine that's what a lot of people in the area seem to have. 2-car garage. That's what this person has. 2-car attached garage. 3-2. This one's about 150. I'd call it 585. Yeah, man. I wouldn't go too crazy on, but estimated value 625. Yeah, I mean, look, if it's sold for what it's sold for, or what these things are saying they sold for, um, I think that you're looking at around 585, 590. But if they sold for more, which I don't doubt that they did, his is 1 car, then I think even a little less than that, then like 580 to 585. But if if it sold these sold for more than what they listed for, which I don't deny, then you're looking you're looking to push 600 for sure. One comp I saw, I went and drove past, and on the pics it looked remodeled, but I drove past it and it seems like they tore it down. Interesting. Yeah, so I mean, I would be like conservatively like under 600, um, but aggressively, yeah, I think you're right. If that one's sold for, if we're looking at the same property and it's sold for 666, um, then exactly 650, like 15 to probably like, I would actually go maybe like 30,000 under what these are selling for, because both of these have 2-car garages and his is 1. There is some benefit, I guess, that you could say is that it's attached. I don't think it really matters, to be quite honest. And this property has about 150 square feet less, anywhere from like 60 to 150 square feet less than the comps. And one of the comps sits on a little like 2,000 square feet bigger lot. Um, and both of them built around the same area. So I'd go like, yeah, 20 to 30,000 discounts off of the comps if you are able to determine that. I'd look up something. I'm gonna yeah, definitely. These comps are for sure the best. I'm going to DM you these comps that I'm looking at right now, Jared, so that you can kind of cross reference to be sure that we're looking at the same ones. Um, and then I would pull these up in batch. I would pull these up in batch yourself to see if both of them sold for something way higher than the listing price of 599. And if that is the case, then I would operate under the assumption that those numbers are accurate. The only reason I hesitate is because the one that you had sent me before, it stuck out like a sore thumb compared to the other comps, and all the other comps were around the same area, and then that one was like way higher, so it made it seem like it was some type of an error. But in this case, that's why we have like 2 to 3 comps that we can work with. I would take a look at them, and if they all seem to be have sold for something, 650 around there, then I would operate with some confidence, saying, okay, yeah, they were listed at 599, but they got outbid and they sold for way over asking price. The way that the estimates look on Redfin, the way that the estimate looks on PropStream for this property here, I would I would assume that that is the case. That these went for much higher, over asking. So I'm going to send you these. Take a look on Batch. Again, if you are, um, if they both show that they were sold for much higher than what they were listed, I would operate under the assumption that um, those are accurate numbers, and then I would just discount anywhere between 20 and 30,000 off of that for ARV, and then in terms of an offer, I would probably be assuming that, let's say our ARV is like 640, 635 to be conservative, 630 to be conservative. Um, I would be at like 515, less repairs and less assignment fee. So the place is a little over 1,700 square feet, so not a huge place by any means. Don't know what type of repairs, but if it was a light rehab, I would be anywhere, probably be like 490 to 500. I would go. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go 15 minus. I would be anywhere between 435 and 490. Probably not even that much though, to be honest. What did I say? 630 was ARV. Um, let's just assume that a buyer is willing to take like 40 grand profit. Because the way that I just did the calculation, I had them making 63. I'm just taking 10% for their profit, which I think you would want to do when you start the conversation, but know that you could probably work up off of that a little bit. So I would be anywhere between 435 to 495 less the assignment fee. Use times 8.84 since it's over 300K. Right, exactly. I do 0.82. 0.84 is going to, and not to say that that's incorrect. I think that he is able to use that with confidence, knowing that he has buyers that has realtor relationships. So on a typical deal, you're going to pay 3% seller commission, 3% buyer commission, 2% closing costs, maybe 1% closing costs on both the back end and the front end on your deal. If you told the seller that you were going to cover the closing costs, that means that your buyer has to cover the closing costs too. So there's and then they got to pay money on points on their hard money if they don't have the cash on hand. So I think by taking 6% off of it is good if you have a really deep buyer database that has maybe your buyer has an agreement with a listing agent where they're just listing it for a flat fee as opposed to taking the full 3%. Or maybe they have a realtor buddy that's willing to just take 1% as opposed to the full 3. But since I don't have a crazy deep buyer database, I go 0.92 or 0.82. So I take 8% off for 3% seller, 3% buyer commissions for the agents, 1% closing costs on both transactions, both their transaction on the back end and my transaction direct to seller, which already puts you at 8%. And then just allowing, everything else to kind of fall in place that they need to worry about. But that's why I go 0.82. So that's what I did. What you're talking about. 80,000 you think it needs, huh? So it needs everything. It needs everything. That, in my opinion, that it would need everything at 1,700 square feet. It's just not a very big place. At 80,000, I would think that it needs a new roof, new AC, likely a little bit of foundation issues, new kitchen, new bath. It needs everything. So if that's the case, I would be at like 430s, yeah, 435 less repair, or sorry, 435 less your whatever you want to make in an assignment fee. I would come out and offer him maybe something close to 400, but still in the threes to see what he or how he acts, or maybe offer something along the lines of like 400 to 420. Oh no, that's not going to give you an assignment fee. I would come in, yeah, I would want to make something big on this one. It's a bigger price point, so depending on his level of motivation, I would come in as your max being 400, but then knowing again that maybe you can find a buyer at less that wants to take less profit instead of 63,000. Maybe they're willing to take 50. If it still needs 80 and you're wanting to make the 36,000, then you can go upwards of 415. Yeah, it needs roof, plumbing, and all that. Yeah, I'll offer 375 first. I think that's good. I think that's a good starting point. And I would say max. I would go 440, 450 max. That's me assuming that ARV can be upwards of 640. You find a buyer that's willing to take like 40 grand instead of 60 plus in profit. Still assuming that it's about 80,000 in repairs. Let's assume that maybe somebody can get away with doing 70 and then taking like a $30,000 assignment. Maybe go upwards of like 460 max. Once it starts getting up to that point, you really got to be cautious. Bet exactly what I was thinking. Max 440. Yeah, I think you're right on the money. There you go. There you go. Some good comps to work with for sure. Maybe even some good buyers there. If you do get it under contract, reach out to those realtors to see if their clients are looking for another flip. Because those are, I mean, yeah, right next door, like you're saying. And both of them are on the major road. Something that typically I would take discount for it because it sits on a main road and the comps don't. But these comps are literally on the main road right next door, like you're saying. So perfect comps. No discounts needing to be taken for the fact that it sits on a main road or anything like that. Appreciate that, Frill. You know, I'll hook you up for helping. Absolutely, man. I appreciate you. Keep bringing them. Keep bringing them. Like I'm telling you. Like I said before, Jared, I mean, you're pretty much my go-to guy out in Houston now. So I know that you're doing the business. I know that you're operating ethically. I have no issue with bringing you opportunity, and clearly you don't have any issue bringing me opportunity either. So I'm glad that I'm able to be a trusted source in the business. I know what that feels like to have your guard up and feel like you can't trust anybody with any opportunity that you get. So I even felt that way yesterday when I brought these 6 single families to my old buyer. I sent him the addresses and I was like, ugh, like I don't know, man. Like he has the bandwidth and the resources to just call this guy and cut me out. So I know the feeling. So I'm glad that I can be that person for you, and I hope that I can be that person for as many people as possible. Really, I have no intention on being unethical in this business. You reap what you sow. In my opinion, don't rob the plug. You know, there's plenty more where those came from. So that's how I operate. If anybody ever wants to screw me over, that's going to be the first and last time that I do business with them, and likely a whole lot of other people, because I'm gonna let the community know, right, that this person's no good. So appreciate you, Jared. Appreciate anybody else who hopped on here for the day, or anybody who's tapping into this after the fact. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Check out the links in the description. I got my Instagram in there. Had a few people follow me today and slide into my DMs with some questions. If you do have questions, I would appreciate it if you brought it to the Discord group, which is also one of the links in the description. Building a little bit of a community in there, just a place for people to bring their questions so that others can see the questions be asked and answered, so that I can help more people out at the same time. So again, I want to end this with something, because today I had a few people hop on here and kind of critique me on my cold calling, which I appreciate. That's what I want to say. Thank you for Ernest and Jeremy, who are hopping on here and providing bits of advice. I don't ever want to come across as I know what I'm doing and you don't. This is how you're supposed to do it. Do it like me. Never was my intention with this channel. Rather, the intention was watch me learn, right? And then if you feel like you have more experience and bits of advice that you're willing to offer me, I open them or I welcome them with open arms. So please do bring me any questions, comments, concerns, recommendations, or suggestions for content, how you think I should be navigating through my day, my work day, how I should be talking to these sellers on the phone, certain questions to ask them that you feel will benefit me and pushing them closer towards the closing table, anything like that. And I say all of that, but I don't want anybody to shy away from asking me questions because I do know and have learned through doing this that I may not be a professional who's doing multiple deals a month, but I have closed 2 deals, and I know that that's more. I can say that, and I know that's more than other people can say who haven't done their first deal yet. So I do know that I have some pieces of information and bits of advice to offer that will be beneficial for somebody who's just starting out. So please do. I don't want you to shy away from asking me questions. Please ask the questions, but just know, ask them in confidence, knowing that if I'm unable to answer it, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to try to come up with an answer to give you just to give you an answer. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to tell you I don't know the answer and try to point you in the direction of somebody who does. So, a couple of times fire damage properties have been brought up. I don't know exactly, but I know Elijah Rubin specializes in fire damage properties. What else? And on market properties that gets brought up. I don't market to on market properties, but I know that Jerry Norton, he builds a whole process and build a whole business model off of going after on market deals. So I'm never going to lie to you and tell you, yeah, this is how you should do it when I really don't know. I'm going to tell you, I don't really do that. That's not what I'm doing. But go check this out, and I'll try my best to point you in the right direction and give you guys some resources. That's what I really want to start, priding myself on is being able to at least point you in the right direction, at least offer up some type of a resource for you guys to turn to get the answers that you need. I know what it felt like to start off. I know, somebody commented on my video just the other day where they were like, man, this is crazy. You have no idea how long it took me to find a YouTube video for somebody that was just jumping on the dialer, right? That's all I ever wanted to hear is how do people talk to these sellers like cold calling and not just like, you'll search cold. This is what really pissed me off when I started off, and it still does because I'll still watch cold calling videos, but when people title their videos as cold calling and they're very clearly calling pre-qualified sellers, that bothers me. That's not a cold call. That's a warm or a hot call. Somebody else is on your team has already talked to this person and fully pre-qualified them. So that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for cold calling advice. I'm looking for what to say to somebody the very first time I talk to them. In my opinion, that's what a cold call is. Not, and I don't want to be this guy who's shitting on the gurus or whatever, but I'm just saying it was quite difficult for me to find when I was first starting out somebody just simply hopping on the dialer and cold calling because all of these titles had cold call in them in the YouTube videos, and I would go to them, and again, it would be somebody like, "Hey, yeah, I think you talked to somebody on my team already who fully pre-qualified you, and I'm just here to close you." That's not a cold call. That's a closing call. You know what I mean? So, I had somebody comment on my video saying like, "Hey, man, like it's crazy how difficult it is to just find somebody, uh, that does this. This is exactly what I was looking for. I searched cold calling and I want to see somebody cold calling." And he was like, especially on the triple line dialer, it's hard to find people who navigate through a triple line dialer and really narrate it the way that I do. That's kind of what he was mentioning. So definitely that comment really resonated with me, and it made me feel really good that I was glad to do that for him and do it for you guys. I hope that you guys take away that type of that if you take that away from these videos as well. That's really my intention behind it, is just to show you, right? I don't want to glamorize it. I don't want to. The fact that you guys are sticking with me so far is all love, man. I can't express to you enough how much I appreciate it. I've been doing this for months and I haven't gotten a deal since last September that's closed. So, you know, the people who are in here who are tapping in regularly, I know that you know that there's more to the business than what is being showcased and highlighted on these YouTube videos, Instagram pages. You're seeing the glitz and the glam, and I'm hoping that I can provide a little bit of the dirty work that is necessary in order to get to that point. I'm hoping that at one point I get to show you just the glitz and the glam, because I'm not the one making the cold calls. I'm not the one pre-qualifying the people. And I'm hoping that at one point sometime soon, I'm able to just hop on here and have just straight warm calls with hot motivated sellers. Um, but anyways, rant over. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully you're able to take that away from this content, like that gentleman who commented on my video did and does. So I'd love to have you guys again in the Discord group. If you want to reach out to me on Instagram, both of those links are in the description. Do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, notification bell if you haven't already. Gonna try to get on here tomorrow, sometime. Oh no, tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna probably hop on early afternoon. Early afternoon is the goal for Wednesdays. I'm kind of shifting my schedule a little bit. I'm gonna work Wednesday afternoons in real estate, so I'm gonna try to hop on here a little bit early afternoon and hopefully be able to close that gentleman out near Austin. That's my goal for tomorrow. So see you guys then. Happy hunting. Keep going on the lead generation and the lead follow-up specifically. Don't forget that. And until tomorrow afternoon, peace.